Okay, we're at the Padgett Cemetery. This is Jennings State Forest. We're about a mile and a half or less from the Johns Cemetery, which was more or less an abandoned forest cemetery, at least in my view. I mean, you can watch the video and judge for yourself, but it seemed pretty abandoned to me. There's about 4 different things in this cemetery, and we're going to try to make this really quick, that struck me. Number one, there are more Johns by far in this cemetery than there was in the Johns Cemetery. Number two, there are more Padgetts than any cemetery I've ever seen of anybody else having the same last name. Obviously a huge family, and they're everywhere. I mean, that's why they call it the Padgett Cemetery, but there's just a ton of them here. Here's 1871. I think this was the earliest that we could find. And there's 1887. These must be the original. Oh no, this is 1971. My bad. And this is, no, that is definitely 18. Nope, I'm wrong. There's a mark there. It's 1987. Okay, but it's still, I've seen some 1800 burials, but very few. This is mostly new. The third thing that I found interesting is this. The way these are, there's several places here where these big mounds of dirt are. I don't get it. These graves are 40 some years old. And it's just, I don't know why they're all jacked up like this. This is obviously fairly recent because no foliage has grown on here yet. So that's odd. I've never seen that before. I've seen a lot of burials. I've seen a lot of burials with shells on them and that sort of thing, but I've never seen anything like this. Here's another Johns. There's a Johns in the back over there. We have a military Johns over here. Honey, can you see what that is from there? No, I can't see. It's got an American flag, so it's probably not a rep. Anyway. Wait, okay, thank you. Okay, so, and what was the fourth thing? Oh, fourth thing is they have a lot of really ornate, modern, and uber expensive gravestones here. And I thought that was interesting for any cemetery, but for an old forest cemetery like this, and we are in the middle of forest. I don't know where the Padgett family is, or where they came from, or where they settled in this area, or whatever. But we're in the forest a little ways, and I don't know. I don't see any. Middleburg, I think, is about the closest town. And this is one of the things I was talking about, is how they have these pictures here. These are Johns also. But just you can see, that's expensive. That is an expensive proposition right there. And I like the way they're upkept. The way that people keep up the. There's more Padgetts. That's a 2018 burial. Most of these burials by far are fairly new. There's some 30s out here. There's more Padgetts. Here's some Padgetts here, and I thought these might be the originals because these are very crudely done. Here's 48. There's no dates on any of these. 44, 60, 65. More Johns. Another Johns, 86. And here's some more Padgetts. This is 35. So 43, 49. T44. More Johns. So quite interesting in many different aspects. And we are in the middle of the forest, so at some point this was near a settlement or something. These are crudely done, hand etched. There's a stone that might just be, I don't think it's probably just stone just sitting there. It's probably a marker of some kind. Here's more of it when it's chewed up. I don't understand any part of that. So anyway, we're going to shut it down and move on, do some more exploring. $37. $54. And more Padgett's back in here with the really fancy stones. And this upraised mounds also. Kind of interesting. Seen a couple today in this cemetery, a couple of burial plots where the husband is buried and the wife isn't. There's 1926. So far that's about the earliest. I thought this said 1871, but on further looking at it again, it doesn't say that at all. This is 1971. 66. There's one right there with the man's not buried. I always wonder sometimes if the wife winds up remarrying and being buried with the second husband, and this stone just sits here in perpetuity with just the man buried in it. You never know. You just never know what you're going to get.